we're just going to go over to these questions that have been asked just before the stream started, and it's in relation to the allegations on Ethereum, which are currently in talks in the blockchain space right now.
Yeah.
The first question.
James O'Keefe covered them.
Oh yeah.
I
Right.
don't think they enjoyed that coverage.
I don't think so either. The first question is, there are allegations of Ethereum potentially being influenced by government agencies. How does Raptoreum's design address these concerns about centralization within a blockchain project?
I mean, it wasn't just allegations about government agencies. It was also about allegations about basically involvement of banks, involvement of other financial institutions that are antithetical to blockchain and crypto.
In terms of just the question, in terms of government, you can
So,
break it
yeah,
down, and you could talk about decentralized mining, whereas
yeah,
Raptoreum
yeah,
utilizes CPU-based proof of work, which allows for a
yeah,
broader participation in mining compared to ASIC-based proof of work algorithms. I mean, by
yeah. I mean, also ASIC and FPGA resistance means a big deal because it means that we're going to be sticking with mining with consumer grade hardware. Sure, some people are buying a few used epics, but still the vast majority of hash rate on the network is consumer grade hardware by far. Community governance, also by being, quite frankly, just blunt and outspoken. I don't think I can't think of any governments who'd like to involve themselves with someone like me. I'll make them very sorry if they do. But yeah, open source development, non-contract DeFi is another thing we've got in the works, which makes it really permissionless, and it's not running on a centralized proof of stake chain, which means that actually interfering in the operations is an exercise in futility. You can maybe block access to a couple of front ends, but people where this access to the front end is blocked, they can still interact directly with the chain and participate in exactly the same functionality, because who cares? And that's not meant to facilitate anything in particular. It doesn't mean it's supposed to facilitate anything in particular other than the service it offers. So anybody who thinks that that's an excuse for anything, go fuck yourselves. Apart from non-contract DeFi, we have also got the whole emphasis on decentralization, basically in everything we're doing. The resistance to specialized mining hardware, the global distribution of nodes. You can host a node on fairly normal internet and with fairly normal hardware, even once we get to the point of the nodes having full Apache Spark integrations, etc. So what that means is we're not going to have situations where basically the chain is going to try to run faster than the infrastructure on the internet can support, which means if there is an infrastructure breakdown, the chain is still good. It still functions exactly like it's supposed to do, because it's anti-fragile and not something where, as per the Ethereum developers, they're now only talking about decentralization for the memes. And the largest DEX on Ethereum is introducing KYC. So good luck to them.
all right. Okay, the next question that we've got in is, Ethereum relies on a decentralized structure for security and transparency. Does Raptoreum utilize a similar approach? If so, are there any additional security?
I mean, we actually use a decentralized structure. They don't. They centralize around collateralized validators and a few particular peak services that essentially dictate everything to the rest of the network. It's gotten to the point where if you make a trade on Uniswap, an ungodly number of bots will try to front run you in one way or the other, impacting your price in a negative direction or costing you more gas or something like that. That's not decentralization, that's centralization around a single service.
Also, I mean, there's 43% of the validator pools are controlled by 2 addresses. That's another thing
Yeah.
to think about with Ethereum, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, not just ridiculous. It's a bad joke.
Yeah.
I mean, we can mention again all of the points we've mentioned: decentralized mining, FPGA and ASIC resistance, utilizing the nodes as an extra layer of security for the main proof of work chain, CPU-based proof of work, collateralized nodes. Collateralized nodes are not necessarily a bad thing because they make it harder to Sybil attack the chain. Sybil attack is where you basically deploy bad nodes onto a chain and try to, through that, control what goes on the chain, either by wrecking it or by corrupting it in some manner. Sidechain transactions is our option for scaling. It'll help maintain proper transparency on what's going on. Non-contract DeFi, again, coming in. Else, yeah, no, I think that's it, really.
Yep. Okay. The next question that we've got is Stephen Nerayoff, a whistleblower, raised concerns about Ethereum's internal structure. How does Raptoreum handle internal dissent?
That's a bit of a mouthful. We haven't really had any particular internal dissent.
No, we haven't. But we run things with utter truth.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
it's the same guy, Nerayoff. He initially believed Ethereum had huge potential to change the world for the greater good. How does our vision differ or align with Ethereum's original goals? That's a bit of a loaded question. I mean, the original concepts discussed for Ethereum, that where I read the discussions, they were about adding functionality to Bitcoin. They weren't so much about trying to change the world for the greater good. That part more came from Bitcoin and the introduction of sound money, which Ethereum then went on to ignore, really. So we've stayed a lot more true to the whole concept of code is law, code governs the chain. Don't like the code, don't like the governance, fork it and build your own. And that's happened quite a bit. We've got about 30 code forks ready, up, running on Mining Pool Stream. So it's, yeah, how are we different? Or do we align with Ethereum's original goals?
I mean, the original goals.
The original goals were to make a group of people a lot of money very quickly for Ethereum.
Yeah.
We don't align with that at all. This whole exercise is starting to get to the point where it costs quite a bit of money, at least for several of us involved. So we don't really align with Ethereum's original goals. We didn't have a pre-sale. We didn't have anything like that. We've got a finite, limited supply, etc., etc., etc. We're very different from them to all intents and purposes.
Okay.
So what Keith was also talking about in the news was the crypto community's concerns about government takeover of Ethereum. How does Raptoreum prevent this kind of scenario?
Well, I suppose it's again the similar question to the first one, isn't it?
In many ways, yeah. But I
uh,
mean, this is specifically how we block government takeover. We are decentralized. We've got people where now? We've got people contributing in Malaysia, France, Russia, Canada, US, UK, Venezuela, Brazil, Paraguay. We are exactly what they're afraid of.
I mean, the
In
Ghostwriter algo helps as well by cycling the multiple hashing algorithms, which enhances the resistance to centralized mining, ensuring a more distributed network as well. It makes it difficult for any single entity to gain a dominant position in the mining system. That's another thing.
That's
Yeah.
why I love Raptoreum. That's why I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, it also comes back to, we aren't just joking about decentralization when we talk about it. We've actually gone ahead and done it.
Yep.
So, I mean, good luck with coordinating suborning all of us at once. And fuck you for even thinking about wanting to try. If there's somebody out there who'd like to give that a go, come and have a go if you think you're tough enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're an open source project, meaning, our code base is fully transparent. It's accessible to anybody. And by being open source and transparent, I mean, it fosters trust within the community and allows for full scrutiny of all of our code to ensure its integrity and also, overall resistance to external influence as well. But yeah, as David says, we are focused on decentralization. That's been the main thing from the get-go. Resistance to centralized mining. We've got potential community governments coming up, which David has talked about in the past. We've got non-contract DeFi, which is an important thing to, mitigate risky smart contracts, such as on Ethereum and other token-based Solidity projects. All these things can prevent.
I think you mean that the other way around.
Yeah, probably, yeah. All these things can prevent scenarios of a potential government takeover or undue influence.
Yeah.
I mean, we are resilient, we are autonomous, and we've been aligned with our core principles right from the start.